Hadouken punch. Did you ever want to learn how to break a board like a martial artist on television? If you are like most people, then the answer is yes. You were thinking, oh my gosh, they are so cool, when you were watching martial artists on television. You wanted to learn how to break a board, but no one was there to teach you. In high school, I was a part of the martial arts club. I even became vice president during my senior year. I've been to many demonstrations, meaning I have broken many boards. I am here with the first board I have ever broken to teach you how to break one of these boards. In order to break a board, you must consider the board, the holder, and yourself who is breaking the board. Before you even get into a position to break this board, you have to look at the board itself. So then, first, we have to check for any knots. These are the dark circles that appear on the board that affect the line that moves across the board. If they're at the center, when you punch it, it's harder to break. So try not to get any of the knots in the center. Next, you have to check for what is known as the grain of the wood. On the side of the board, the lines curve out in a certain direction. And these lines, when they curve out, you want to punch the side where it curves out to. Because when you punch the middle of the board, the top and bottom becomes an axis of rotation, and the torque will cause the curve to close in on itself. Since this effect is not possible on the other side of the board, the other side of the board would be really hard to punch. So then, now that you understand how the board works, let's move on to the person who is holding the board. To begin with, the stance should be able to keep the person from flying back from the punch of from the force of the punch. So first off, you have to put one leg in front of the other and turn your body towards the breaker. With front leg bent and back leg completely straight. And then the hold should put stress on the board. So to do this, you just push or pull in opposite directions so that you put stress on the board, making it weaker. Also, the holder should look away from the board, because if the board breaks, splinters fly, and if it goes into your eyes, you get blind. Now that the holder is set up, let's go to the person who is breaking the board. You cannot break a board without the person breaking the board. It's like a banana being eaten without someone eating it. So to start off with, Newton's second law says that force equals mass times acceleration. So in order to apply more force, you either accelerate your fist or increase the mass. You already know how to to punch quickly, but you don't know how to increase the mass. To increase the mass, just flex your fist. Also, next, you must punch past the board. Because if you punch right at the board, the full extent of your punch will go into the air, not breaking the board. If you punch past the board, then the full extent of the punch will go into the board, which would break the board. So then, finally, imagination is key to breaking a board. You need to imagine that you are able to break a board, and it'll increase your morale. And when it increases your morale, then your punch would be stronger. So then breaking a board would look like breaking a board would look like board, holder, breaker. Most people want to know how to break a board like how the martial artists on television do. If you think back to when you were a child, you would remember that you wanted to learn how to break one of these boards. Now you know.